Welcome to AffairsCloud. My name is Vikas Rana. We are one-stop solution for current affairs. You can find Crack Current Affairs course on our application exclusively for current affairs, where you will get daily, weekly, monthly content on regular basis. Use the code Vikas10 and get 10% additional discount while purchasing the course. Also, students, follow us on Telegram and Instagram. The link for the same are mentioned in our description. This video has both English and Hindi. The first part is English and second part is Hindi. Timestamps are mentioned in the description below. Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you are all good. So students, in this video we will be discussing important current affairs for third week of the September month. So let's start. The session will be very beneficial for you all. First question is, mark the correct statement regarding the recent visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Assam state. If we look at the option, all these three options are rightly mentioned. One important takeaway from this news that you need to remember is Assam's bioethanol plant, that is India's first bamboo-based biorefinery, has been inaugurated at a cost of 5,000 crore rupees at the Numaligarh Refinery Limited in Assam. Next, Amit Shah, our Home Minister, has recently inaugurated India's largest and modern sports complex named Veer Savarkar Sports Complex at 825 crore rupees in Dash, aiming to establish the city as the India's sports capital. So it is located where? That is aimed to be established as India's sports capital. It is Ahmedabad, Gujarat. Right, in Ahmedabad, Gujarat only. Recently, Government of India has bid to host the 2036 Summer Olympic Games, 2036 Summer Olympic Games and 2030 Commonwealth Games. Right, we have bid recently. Right, let's see how that plays out. Next, according to the National Statistics Office monthly bulletin of the Periodic Labour Force Survey for August released in September, what was the national unemployment rate for individuals that are aged 15 years and above in August 2025? So what is the unemployment rate here? It is 5.1%. Next, mark the correct statement regarding the recent visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Bihar. If we look at the options, all these three options are important. And remember here, Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the interim terminal building at the new civil enclave of Purnia Airport. Next, name the class of precious metals that India will explore in northwest of the Indian Ocean under the agreement signed between Ministry of Earth Science and International Seabed Authority in September 2025. So name the class of precious metals. It is your polymetallic sulfur nodules. Right, and this agreement will be for the next 5 years where they will be exploring this polymetallic sulfur nodules in the Indian Ocean. Next, in September, DPIIT, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, they commemorated the 3rd anniversary of the National Logistics Policy. This National Logistics Policy, right, it is aligned with the Pradhan Mantri Gati Shakti National Master Plan. And here question asked is, by which year does India aims to become among the top 25 countries in the Logistics Performance Index under the NLP? So it is by 2030. Next, how much funding was announced under the call for proposal schemes to support startups in green hydrogen innovation during the inauguration of the first annual Green Hydrogen Research and Development Conference in September 2025 by Union Minister Prahlad Joshi? So it is 100 crore rupees. Next, identify the international organization with which Government of India has signed a memorandum of understanding to develop international reference classification of occupations in Geneva, Switzerland, with an aim to facilitate youth in availing global employment opportunities. So which is it? It is your International Labour Organization, ILO. Right? Next, mark the correct statement regarding the recent visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Madhya Pradesh. So if we look at the option, all these three options are rightly mentioned. Here PM Modi has launched the Swasth Nari Shakht Parivar Abhiyan, and he has also launched the Suman Sakhi chatbot to raise awareness of the maternal and child health in the rural and remote areas. And also he launched the 8th Rashtriya Poshan Month, that is a National Nutrition Month being held from 17th September to 16th of October. Take a note of this. Moving on. Mark the correct statement regarding the official visit of Mauritius Prime Minister to India from 9 to 16th of September. If we look at the options, all these three options are rightly mentioned. Next, Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, they partnered with which UN organization in September to strengthen blue port infrastructure in India through the Technical Cooperation Program framework. So, the Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, they partnered with which arm of UN? So, it was with United Nations. Which arm they partnered here? It is your Food and Agriculture Organization. Next, where did India host the second edition of the BIMSTEC Young Leaders Summit that was held from 9th to 11th of September? So where did India host the second edition of BIMSTEC Young Leaders Summit? In Guwahati, Assam. Next, mention the multinational technology company that partnered with BharatGen in September to advance Indic language artificial intelligence models in India. So mention the multinational technology company. Which is it? It is IBM, International Business Machines, right? Next, Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav launched 8 new foundational models under India AI for the upcoming India Artificial Intelligence Impact Summit 2026, the 4th edition of the International AI Symposium. Which of the following is not part of these 8 projects? So it is Infosys AI Lab. It is not a part of the 8 projects under this. That was during the 4th edition of the International AI Symposium that were launched. Avatar AI, IIT Bombay Consortium, BharatGen, Fractal Analytics Limited, Tech Mahindra Makers Lab, GenLoop Intelligence Limited, NeuroDX, Shodh AI, Zentik iTech Innovations, right? These are some that you need to remember, these 8 projects. Next, identify the Indian institute that signed a strategic collaboration in September with Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation along with Niti Aayog and Bhashini to strengthen the India's capabilities in data monitoring, evaluation and AI ecosystem. Right, and here you can see that Bhashini has been a part of it. That means multilingual support will be provided here. Correct. So identify that Indian institute. It is your IIT or IM Udaipur, that is Indian Institute of Management of Udaipur, signed this collaboration with these organizations. Next, which ministry has partnered with the Department of Empowerment of Persons with Disability in September to launch integrative rehabilitation initiative for persons with disabilities? It is Ministry of Ayush. Next, mark the correct statement regarding the recent visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Gujarat on 20th of September. It is option B, that is PM Modi inaugurated the 45 megawatt Badeli solar photovoltaic project and complete solarization of Dhordo village in Kutch, Gujarat. Next, pick the correct statement regarding the initiatives launched by Union Minister for Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal to mark the 10th anniversary of Make in India initiative in September 2025. So if we look at the options, all these 3 options are rightly mentioned. Next, which of the following is not among the top 5 Indian states with the highest number of millionaire households in 2025 according to the Mercedes-Benz Hurun India Wealth Report and Luxury Consumer Survey released by Hurun India in September 2025? It is West Bengal. Next, identify the ministry that signed 5 MOUs with National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj and 4 state rural livelihood missions in September 2025 to strengthen interventions under Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana National Rural Livelihood Mission. So identify that ministry. It is Ministry of Rural Development. Next, name that Indian institute that signed an MOU with Vietnam National University in September to facilitate collaborative research, academic exchange and scientific development on the reciprocal basis. So name that Indian institute. It is your IIT Kanpur. IIT Kanpur. Next, in September, the permanent delegation of India to UNESCO has announced the 7 Indian properties were added under the natural category in UNESCO's tentative list of the World Heritage Sites. Which of the following is not among these 7 cities? So among the following, it is your natural heritage of Valley of Flowers in Uttarakhand, right? And this is not one of the 7. Rest 4 are there, right? Apart from this, Deccan Traps and Panchgani we have seen. Geological heritage we have seen Meghalaya age caves, then Naga Hills, right? Natural heritage of the Era Mati, then natural heritage of the Tirumala Hills, national heritage of the Varkala. These were added here. Next, what is the rank of India in the 18th edition of the Global Innovation Index, right? Released by the World Intellectual Property Organization WIPO in collaboration with the Portulans Institute in September. So, what is the rank of India here? India stands at 38th position, right? And Switzerland, they secured the first position. Next, where did the 9th edition of the exercise Pacific Reach take place in September, which was also joined by the Indian naval ship Nistar? So it was held where? It was held in Singapore, right? And take a note of this from Indian side, which Indian naval ship took part here? It is Indian naval ship Nistar that took part, and this is the 9th edition of the exercise between India and Singapore, or Indian Navy and Singapore Navy. Next, pick the country that was re-elected in September to the Council of Administrations and the Postal Operation Council of Universal Postal Union for a period of 4 years starting from 2025 till 2028. It is our India. Next, mark the correct statement regarding the recent visit of the Union Minister Piyush Goyal to UAE in September 2025. All these three options are rightly mentioned here. Next is name the country that was elected as the member of Interpol Asian Committee for the term 2025 to 2029 during the 25th Asian Regional Conference held at the Interpol Global Complex for Innovation, Singapore in September 2025. So name that country. It is our country, India. Right? And India was represented by a delegation from the CBI, Central Bureau of Investigation. Next, the biological diversity of the areas beyond national jurisdiction agreement, that is BBNJ agreement, under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, which secured 60 ratifications in September 2025, will come into force in when? It will be coming into force from January 2026 onwards. Next, in September, as per the RBI's regulation of the payment aggregators direction, non-bank payment aggregators applying for the authorization must have a minimum net worth of how much? They must have a minimum net worth of 15 crore rupees at the time of application. Next, in September, RBI set up an independent advisory group on regulations to strengthen stakeholders' engagement. Here, this AGR advisory group on regulations will be chaired by whom? It will be chaired by Rana Ashutosh Kumar Singh. Next, mention the initiative of IRDAI, which is unveiled, which it unveiled a website, right, marking a key step in developing India's digital public infrastructure for the insurance sector. It is Bima Sugam. Next, identify the company with which AU Small Finance Bank they collaborated to launch the AU Cosmo credit card built on the RuPay network to cater the growing preference of UPI payments in India. So it is Kiwi. This is the company with which AU Small Finance Bank collaborated. Next, choose the correct statement regarding multiple scheme framework announced by the PFRDA in September 2025. If we look at the options, all these three options are rightly mentioned. Next, mention the company that signed a memorandum of understanding with Hindustan Copper Limited to collaborate on exploration and development of critical and strategic minerals such as your copper and associated minerals. So mention that company. It is Oil India Limited, OIL. Next, who will be conferred with the Dadasaheb Phalke Award for the year 2023 as announced by the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting? So, who will be conferred here? Mohanlal Vishwanath Nair, right? He will be conferred here and he will be the 55th recipient of the Dadasaheb Phalke Award for his exceptional contribution. Next, and this Dadasaheb Phalke Award, remember students, it is the highest honor of the Indian cinema. Next, mention the state that received the Best State Award under Mera Resham Mera Abhiyan program, that is a flagship initiative of the Central Silk Board, an autonomous body which works under the Ministry of Textiles. Right? So, mention that state that received this Best State Award. It is Andhra Pradesh. Next, identify the organization for which Appointments Committee of the Cabinet appointed Praveen Kumar as the Director General in September 2025. So, ITBP, Indo-Tibetan Border Force, for this organization, ACC has appointed Praveen Kumar as the new Director General. Correct? Take a note of this. And here remember, for CISF, if asked about CISF, Central Industrial Security Force, for CISF, who has been appointed as the Director here? Praveer Ranjan. right? Take both of them. Both appointment are important. Next, identify the company which built the DSC A22, the third ship of the 5-ship diving support craft project launched by the Indian Navy in September at Titagarh, Kolkata. So identify that company which we are talking about. It is your Titagarh Rail Systems Limited. Next, pick out the correct statement regarding the winners of the Fight Grand Swiss 2025 held at Samarkand, Uzbekistan in September 2025. If we look at the options, all these three of them are rightly mentioned. Next, which country defeated India in the final to win the 11th edition of the Women's Hockey Asia Cup held in the Guangzhou, China in September 2025? So, which country defeated India? It was defeated by China. Next, in September, who became the first Indian high jumper to qualify for the men's high jump final at the 20th edition of the World Athletics Championship held in Tokyo, Japan? So, Sarvesh Kushare became the first Indian high jumper to qualify for the men's high jump at the 20th edition of the World Athletics Championship to be held in Tokyo, Japan. He cleared a 2.25 meter jump in the men's high jump qualification round. Next, which company was officially named as the New Jersey sponsor of the Indian cricket team until 2027? Right, until 2027 in September 2025. So Apollo Tires are the new sponsor of the Indian men's jersey, because previous to this, Dream 11 they have stopped their operations according to the new e-gaming bill that was introduced by the government of India. Next question is, which team defeated the South Zone to win the 62nd edition of the Duleep Trophy in the final held at the BCCI Center of Excellence, Bengaluru, Karnataka in September? So it is Central Zone. They defeated South Zone and to win the 62nd edition of the Duleep Trophy. Duleep Trophy is related to cricket. Right? And for Central Zone, this is the 7th Duleep Trophy title that they have won. Next, who is appointed as the brand ambassador of the Archery Premier League scheduled to be held in October in New Delhi? So Ram Charan, the famous actor, has been appointed as the brand ambassador for this Archery Premier League. Next, identify the correct statement regarding the 73rd edition of the Inline Speed Skating World Championship organized by World Skate held in China in September. If we look at the options here, all these three options are rightly mentioned. Next, which of the following countries did not come in the top of the medal tally of the 20th edition of the World Athletics Championship held in Tokyo, Japan in September? So, which of the following countries did not come in the top of medal tally here? Israel did not come in the top of the medal tally here, right? USA first position, then Kenya, then it is Canada, then it is your Netherlands, then Botswana on the 5th position. Next, Max Verstappen, he represents Red Bull company, right, and has won the 8th edition of the F1 Azerbaijan Grand Prix held in Baku, Azerbaijan. Next, every year when is National Engineers Day celebrated in India? It is celebrated on 15th of September, right? Next, what is the theme of the International Day for the Preservation of the Ozone Layer, which is annually observed to raise awareness about significance of ozone layer and the impact of its depletion, which contributes to global warming and climate change? So theme is asked here, theme being from science to global action. Next, every year when is International Day of Peace observed across the globe to celebrate and promote the principles of peace within among all nations and people? It is 21st of September. We observe International Day of Peace. Next, identify the public sector company that received the third GE 404 engines from General Electric Aerospace in September for the light combat aircraft Tejas Mark 1A. So, identify the public sector company. It is Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. Next is, which company in collaboration with Indian Sign Language Research and Training Center, they have organized the Purple Fest 2025 in September for the empowerment of persons with disability, that is Divyangan, right? So which is that university? It is the Amity University of UP. Next, in September, Amazon Pay, they have renewed their long-term partnership with Dash for India's most adapted co-branded credit card. So Amazon Pay, they renewed their long-term partnership with ICICI Bank for India's most adopted co-branded credit card. Next, in September, Namo Bharat train, which became India's fastest train by reaching the top speed of 160 km per hour operates on which regional rapid transit system corridor? So it works on Delhi to Meerut corridor. Next, Hornbill Festival, right? Where do we observe this? In Nagaland, right? It has won Silver Banyan Award for Best Cultural and Music Dance under the Week Heritage Awards, which is celebrated in which Indian state? Celebrated in Nagaland. Next, mention the insurance company that received the final observations from SEBI in September for their proposed IPO. Which is it? Mention that insurance company. It is your Canara HSBC Life Insurance Company, right? And the offer for sale here is up to of 23.75 crore shares. And next is mention the company that was awarded with the IPMA Delta Certification Level 3 by International Project Management Association in September 2025. It is NLC India Limited. Moving on, name the sports facility whose foundation stone was laid in Dwarka, Delhi on 16th of September. It is Ice Sports Arena. Next, the 14th Sirakhong Hathei Chili Festival celebrating the GI tagged chili was inaugurated where? It was inaugurated in Manipur on 17th of September. Next, which country ranks second in potato production globally following China as of September 2025? It is our country, India. So that's all for the day, students. Now it's time for the revision part that will be quite beneficial for you all.
Without using which material researchers at Pennsylvania State University of USA has built a computer from scratch that showed the possibility to replace the material that fueled the bulk of technology advancement by making devices even smaller and faster. So without using which material researchers at Pennsylvania they developed a computer? It is silicon. Without using silicon, this milestone was achieved. Next, name the Indian naval ship commissioned into Indian Navy at Yantar shipyard in Kaliningrad of Russia, making it the 8th in the series of Project 113.6 of Talwar class and the second vessel in the follow-on Tushil class of ships. So, name that INS commissioned. What is it? It is INS Tamal. Indian naval ship Tamal. Next, in July, Indian Navy received the stealth frigate Yard 12652, that is Udaygiri, from Madgaon Dock Shipbuilders Limited, that was delivered under which project? It was under the Project 17A. Next, mention the name of the company that made history by becoming the first Indian company to design and manufacture enterprise grade solid state drives. So, mention the name of the company. It is MyFi Semiconductors Private Limited. Next, name the hypersonic vehicle whose test flight was conducted successfully by China in July, marking a significant technological advancement in rocket-based combined cycle propulsion. So, name that hypersonic vehicle. It is Tiantian 2. Right? Very important. It was recently only launched and it was tested, and it is a key enabler of sustained hypersonic flight. Next, identify the name of the company from which India's Paras Anti-Drone Technology Private Limited received a letter of intent for 30 units of the Chimera 200 anti-drone systems worth 22.21 crore rupees. So, identify the name of the company from which India's Paras Anti-Drone Technologies Private Limited they received this letter of intent. It is Sarber. Right, this is the company. Next, where did the DRDO laboratory, Defense Electronics Application Laboratory, successfully conduct the field trials of software-defined radio, manpack and compact trans-horizon communication system? So, where did this DRDO laboratory and they successfully conducted the field trials? These were conducted in Uttarakhand. Next, mention the name of the company which is set to become India's first private company to offer satellite communication services using a locally built geostationary satellite to users across the country. So, mention the name of that company. It is Anantnath Technologies Limited. Next, what is the name of the interstellar comet discovered by NASA that originated far from beyond our solar system, making it the third confirmed interstellar object detected in our solar system neighbor? And on social media, students, it is going on that this is an alien ship, right? And the aliens will be visiting Earth. So, it is a interstellar object, not a alien ship, just to clarify. and it is 3I Atlas. Correct, and this is the third interstellar object, so 3I. Next, mention the name of the company that partnered with Synergy Quantum India Private Limited to build India's first indigenous quantum secure satellite with an aim to strengthen the national space infrastructure against emerging quantum threats. So mention the company that partnered with Synergy Quantum. It is Space Transportation Systems. Next, the Indian Navy successfully conducted the user trials of ERASR, ERASR, that is an indigenous anti-submarine weapon system. It was tested from INS Kavaratti. This is also an important question, right? It was tested between 23rd of June to 7th of July. Next, mention the name of the Indian naval ship delivered by Hindustan Shipyard Limited in July to the Indian Navy at Vishakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. So mention the name of that INS. Which is that INS? It is INS Nistar. Next, in July, where did ISRO? They successfully conducted the 2 short duration hot test of the Gaganyaan service module propulsion system. So where was it tested? It was tested in Mahendragiri in Tamil Nadu. And the test here lasted 30 seconds and 100 seconds respectively. Next, which company received the final regulatory approval from InSpace to offer commercial satellites broadband services in India? So, which is that company? It is Starlink Satellite Communication Private Limited. Next, who became the youngest astronaut in training aiming for NASA's first human mission to Mars and on track to become one of the first people to set foot on Mars? So, who became the youngest astronaut in training? Elisa Carson, right? And for NASA, and first human to Mars and on track to become one of the first people to set foot on Mars. And it is expected that once she will go to Mars, she won't be returning back to India or returning back to the Earth. Next, where did DRDO and Indian Air Force they jointly conducted a flight test of the indigenously developed beyond visual range air-to-air missile, that is Astra, that is equipped with indigenous radio frequency seeker. So where was it tested? ITR Chandipur of the coast of Odisha. This was tested. Next, mention the name of the geostationary communication satellite developed by Israel Aerospace Industries in partnership with Israeli Space Agency, launched into space from Florida, USA. So mention the name of the geostationary communication satellite. It is DROR-1, DROR-1, and it was launched using the Falcon 9 rocket. Next, identify the country that developed the world's lightest brain control device named Cyborg B, weighing 74 milligrams, that can be used to control the movement of the bees. And it is China. This is a significant development, students. It can be very dangerous if used in a wrong way. Next, DRDO, they handed over 6 indigenously designed and developed strategic products to the Indian Navy in Jodhpur, Rajasthan. Identify the one that is not in the list of the 6 products here. So among the following, it is execution survival vessel is not among the 6 products that are here. So option 3 is right for us. Next, India received the second GE F404 IN-20 engine from General Electric Aerospace for Lloyd Combat Aircraft Tejas Mark 1A program. This General Electric Aerospace belongs to which country? This General Electric is of United States of America. Next, Space Exploration Technologies Corporation, that is SpaceX of USA, they successfully tested the launch of 24 Amazon Kuiper broadband internet satellite using the Falcon 9 rocket from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida, USA. Next, identify the correct statement regarding the successful trial of 3 missiles conducted by the Indian Army in July. If we look at the options, all these 3 options are rightly mentioned. Next, mention the company that launched Indian naval ship Ajay, the final of the 8th anti-submarine warfare shallow watercraft built for Indian Navy to strengthen the maritime defense capabilities of India. So mention the company that launched the INS Ajay. It is GRSE, Garden Ridge Shipbuilders and Engineers Limited. Next, identify the first indigenous recombinant chimeric multi-stage malaria vaccine for which Indian Council of Medical Research invited the expression of interest for transfer of technology for commercial production in July 2025. So identify the first indigenous recombinant chimeric multi-stage malaria vaccine. What is the name of that? It is Adfelcivax. Next, Apollyon Dynamics, a startup based from which institute successfully delivered the indigenously developed unmanned aerial vehicle, that is UAVs, to the Indian Army in July. So this is a startup from BITS Pilani.
The Union External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Shankar visited USA from June 30 to July 2nd to participate in the Quad Foreign Ministers meeting. Pick out the correct statement here. So here also all the three options are rightly mentioned. Next, name the crop that was targeted under the Climate Resilient Farming Initiative launched in July by Ghana in collaboration with India's Arima Farms and Council for Scientific and Industrial Research and their arm, Crop Research Institute, to reduce India's import dependency and boost the local cultivation. So name the crop that was targeted here. It is wheat. Right, and this initiative, it aims to reduce India's dependency on the imports, as India's wheat import stands at $400 million. Also, one more thing, remember, during this program has also introduced wheat pride 999. This is a variety of wheat, right, that has been developed by India's green pride, and it is drought and heat resistant, it is nutrition enriched, and it has been tested across 6 distinct agrological zones. Next, identify the correct statement regarding the 4th edition of International Conference on Financing for Development that was held from 30th of June to 3rd of July in Sevilla, Spain. If we look at the options here, option A is right, B is right, C is wrong. C is saying that at this conference, France, Kenya, they have launched Aviation Solidarity Coalition aimed at imposing taxes on the premium air travel. So at this, right, France and Kenya, they have launched this event, right? Is it correct? So remember, at this conference, there are 8 countries, that is France, Kenya, Barbados, Spain, Somalia, Benin, Sierra Leone, and Antigua and Barbuda. They have launched the Aviation Solidarity Coalition, and their aim is imposing taxes on the premium air travel. Now option C is right, not just these 2 countries. Next, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian signed a law suspending the cooperatives with International Atomic Energy Agency following the airstrikes by the USA and Israel in June that target some Iranian nuclear facilities. Right, and now their partnership with IAEA of the UN, that is the United Nations Nuclear Watchdog, has been suspended. Next, Reserve Bank of India in June issued the final guidelines for Aadhaar enabled payment system touchpoint operators under Dash to enhance the fraud risk management. It is under the Payment and Settlement Act of 2007. These guidelines are issued under the Payment and Settlement Systems Act of 2007 to safeguard the customers from identified theft and maintain trust in the AEPS, that is Aadhaar enabled payment system. Next, name the fintech company that launched the UPI credit card and inaugurated India's first UPI powered bank branch in Koramangala, Bengaluru in June 2025. It is Slice. Next, mention the organization that subscribed to 1,301.25 crore net worth of non-convertible debentures issued by Aditya Birla Capital Limited in July 2025 to support renewable energy and e-mobility financing in India. It is Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. And this 3-year privately placed investment by NCD, it aims to boost the financing in renewable energy and e-mobility sectors to support India's transition toward a sustainable infrastructure ecosystem. Next, mark the correct statement regarding the recent report of RBI's Financial Stability Report. If we look at the option, all these 3 of them are rightly mentioned. Next, mention the bank that became the first UAE bank to receive in-principle approval from International Financial Service Centers Authority to set up the new International Financial Service Centers banking unit within the GIFT city, that is in Gandhinagar, Gujarat. So mention the bank that became the first UAE bank to receive the in-principle approval for this IBU, that is IFCA banking unit in Gandhinagar, Gujarat. So mention the bank. It is your Mashreq Bank, right? This is the first bank of UAE. Next, identify the company that raised $120 million in Series D funding round led by SC Ventures in June, becoming the 5th Indian startup to achieve the unicorn status in 2025. It is Jumbotail Technologies Private Limited. And this funding round also saw the participation from the existing investors Singapore-based Artel Asia, bringing the company's total funding to $263 million. Next, mention the state that became the third Indian state to record over 1 crore registered stock market investors after Maharashtra and UP, according to the latest data released by National Stock Exchange Limited in July 2025. So mention that state, it is Gujarat. On first is your Maharashtra, then second is UP, and now third is Gujarat. Next, identify the organization that signed a MOU Memorandum of Understanding with India Meteorological Department to launch India's first weather derivatives. It is National Commodity and Derivatives Exchange Limited. Next, in July, who was bestowed with the Mental Health Award at the 24th Annual International Mental Health Conference that was held at this event in Bangkok, Thailand. This is in recognition of her invaluable contribution and transformative leadership in shaping the future of global mental health. So, who was bestowed upon with this Mental Health Award 2025 in July? So, Saima Wazid, right? She received this recognition for her invaluable contribution and transformative leadership in shaping the future of global health or global mental health. Mental health. Next, identify the incorrect statement regarding the Digital Payments Awards for 24-25 organized by the Department of Financial Services in June 2025. If we look at the options, option A and C are right, B is wrong. B is saying HDFC Bank has won the award in the private sector banks category. Is it so? No, it is for private sector banks. Yes, it is. I correct myself. HDFC Bank is right. Let's take this question again, students. That option A is right. B is right. A is wrong and C is wrong because we have to find the incorrect, right? So Bank of Baroda won the award in the public sector banks category. No, not Bank of Baroda, but Punjab National Bank has won in the public sector category. Then AU Small Finance Bank won in the small finance banks category. Not AU Small Finance Bank, but Equitas Small Finance Bank. They have won the award in the small finance bank category. Now all these three options are rightly mentioned. Next, name the person appointed as the new Secretary of Research and Analysis Wing, succeeding Ravi Sinha as by the Appointment Committee of the Cabinet. So, who was appointed as the new Secretary here? Parag Jain appointed as the new Secretary of RAW. Right? He will be succeeding Ravi Sinha. Next, mention the country that appointed Phumtham Vechaichi as the acting Prime Minister following the suspension of PM Pentagotran Shinawatra, P. Shinawatra, right? So mention the country that appointed P. Vechaichi as their acting Prime Minister. It is Thailand. Next, who is the first women pilot to be inducted in the fighter stream of naval aviation by Indian Navy in July? So Astha Punia. She is from UP and the first women pilot in the fighter stream of naval aviation. During this ceremony, she was also honored with the Wings of Gold. Right, this is an award. Next, identify the country that launched a climate change monitoring satellite, that is Global Observing Satellite for Greenhouse Gases and Water Cycle Satellite, that is GOSAT GW, using the H2A rocket from their Tenchingma Space Center. So which is that country? This H2 rocket, it is of Japan, right? We have discussed this multiple times. This rocket is of Japan. Next, the Defense Research and Development Organization, that is DRDO, they have developed India's first indigenous photonic radar. It marks a significant milestone in India's air defense technology with ultra high resolution, stealth detection and immunity to electronic jamming. So DRDO, they have developed India's first indigenous photonic radar. This radar is expected to undergo extensive trials to validate their performance. Next, name the Indian naval ship commissioned into the Indian Navy at Yantr Shipyard in Kaliningrad, Russia, making it the 8th in the series of the Project 1135.6 Talwar class and the second vessel in the follow-on Tushil class of ships. So name the Indian naval ship that was commissioned into the Indian Navy at Yantar shipyard. It is INS Tamal. INS Tamal. And this ship is the 8th in the series of Project 1135.6. Next, Indian Navy received the stealth frigate Yard 12652, that is Udyagiri, from Madgaon Dock Shipbuilders Limited. It was delivered under Project 17A, right? And it is the successor of Shivalik class of the Project 17 frigates, and this is INS Udyagiri, right? That is stealth frigate Yard 12652 Udyagiri. Next, name the hypersonic vehicle whose test flight was conducted successfully by China in July, marking a significant technological advancement in rocket-based combined cycle propulsion. It is Faitian 2. This is the name of the hypersonic vehicle, right, that was tested. Next, who won the 2025 Austrian Grand Prix held in Spielberg, Styria in June, clinching his third F1 Grand Prix victory of 2025 season? It is Lando Norris, right? And this marks Lando Norris' 7th Grand Prix win for his F1 career. Moving on, National Statistics Day, students. This is annually observed across India on 29th of June to honor the contributions of statisticians and highlight the importance of statistics in socio-economic development and policy formation. This day commemorates the birth anniversary of whom? It commemorates the birth anniversary of PC Mahalanobis, right? And it marked the 19th observation today, or in this year in 2025 on 29th of June, it was the 19th observation of the National Statistics Day and 132nd birth anniversary of PC Mahalanobis. And the theme for this National Statistics Day is 75 years of National Sample Survey. Next is National Doctors Day is annually observed across India on 1st of July to acknowledge and celebrate the invaluable services of doctors and healthcare professionals in safeguarding public health and serving society. President of India Draupadi Murmu ma'am visited Uttarakhand from 19 to 21st of June. Pick out the correct statement here. If we look at the options, all these three options are rightly mentioned. Next, which state election commission became the first in India to introduce a mobile-based electronic voting system, that is for municipal and urban local bodies election in June 25, that will enable the voters so that they can cast their votes remotely using the Android smartphones. This is Bihar, right? And it is making news all over the world. This is important that you need to remember, so take a note of it. And with this, Bihar became the first state to implement such a method. Next, and one more thing, remember this e-voting system, it has been developed by CDAC, Center for Development of Advanced Computing. Next, name the device launched by Union Minister of State for Finance Pankaj Chaudhary in June for export examination during the Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs conclave held under the chairmanship of Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman in New Delhi. So it is iStab device, right? This high-level conclave that aimed to review the progress has also introduced various key reforms that will plan the way forward to improve the taxpayer services, and real-time tracking will be there, and paperless processing will be promoted through this. Next, pick out the correct statement regarding the 51st group of G7 summit held on 15th to 17th of June in Canada. If we look at the options here, option A and B is right, C is wrong. C is saying PM Modi gifted a Dokra Nandi bull sculpture from Maharashtra crafted using the traditional low wax technique to the President of France, Emmanuel Macron, right? So remember this method or this gift, that is Dokra Nandi bull, it was gifted to whom? It was gifted to the, everything is right here, but this Dokra Nandi bull, it is not from Maharashtra, but it is from Tamil Nadu. It is from Tamil Nadu, right? Then Anthony Albanese, the Prime Minister of Australia, was honored or was gifted the Kolhapuri silver pot, and this is from Maharashtra. Next, pick out the incorrect statement regarding the 55th edition of the International Paris Air Show held in June, right, in France. If we look at the option, we have to find the incorrect statement. Option 2 is incorrect here. That is, India's Paras Defense and Space Technologies signed an agreement with Dassault Aviation SA France to manufacture Falcon 2000 business jets in India. Right? Why? Remember, this is India's correct company name being asked here. So India's Paras Defense and Space, right? They have recently signed this with Dassault Aviation. Is it correct? No, it is not India's Paras Defense and Space Technology, but it is Mumbai, Maharashtra based Reliance Aerostructure Limited, that is a subsidiary of Reliance Infrastructure Limited, right? So Reliance Aerostructure Limited, right? This is the subsidiary of RIL, Reliance Industry Limited. They have partnered with Dassault Aviation Limited to manufacture 2000 Falcon drones, right, in India. Above 2000 Falcon business jets in India, and this manufacturing facility for this will be set up in Nagpur, Maharashtra. Next is the 210th board meeting of the SEBI held in June. The board approved compliance relaxation for foreign portfolio investors investing exclusively in Indian government securities to simplify the onboarding process. And this decision will reduce the paperwork and also improve the ease of doing business for the investors. Also, SEBI declares the co-investment framework for Category 1 and Category 2 alternative investment funds. Next, RBI has revised the regulatory lending norms for small finance banks, reducing the mandated allocation to priority sectors by 15%. From when the revised guidelines are set to come into effect. These are set into effect from 1st of April 2025. And the small finance banks, right, they are required to allocate 40% of their adjusted net bank credit or credit equivalent of offshore balance exposure to the subsectors that are defined under the priority sector lending, right, and the remaining 35% to any priority sector lending subsector where they have a competitive advantage. Moving on. Next, name the solar powered car unveiled by the student team of Indian Institute of Technology Madras, that is IIT Madras, that is team Agnirath, in June to participate in the Bridgestone World Solar Challenge 2025. What is the name of that solar powered car that was launched by team Agnirath? It is Aganya, right? And this was launched by IIT Madras team, that is team Agnirath. Next, who was appointed as the non-executive part-time chairman and additional director of Tamil Nadu Mercantile Bank Limited in June for a tenure of 3 years. So, right option here is K. Ramchandran. Next, which state was declared the third fully literate state in India in June after Mizoram and Goa with a literacy rate of 95.6? It is Tripura. And all these are under the Ullas initiative. Next, who has been appointed as the chairperson of the 8-member technical expert group formed by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation to guide India's first full-scale household income survey scheduled for Feb 2026. It is Dr. Surujit S. Balla, right? And this is an 8-member technical expert group. This technical expert group will be chaired by Dr. Surujit S. Balla, the former executive director for India at the IMF. And this technical expert group will guide the National Statistical Office on all the aspects of surveys, final report making, and also for the analysis of the regional income disparities that we are seeing, income equality that we are seeing, and welfare targeting. Next, Adani New Industries Limited, they commission India's first off-grid 5 megawatt green hydrogen pilot plant where in Gujarat. And this is under National Green Hydrogen Mission. Next, name the platform launched by UPSC in June to support the candidates who cleared all the stages of UPSC exam but were not included in the final merit list. It is Pratibha Setu, and to all those students, job opportunities will be provided because they are students that are of well caliber and they can perform well in the respective positions, but due to the competition they were not able to make it in the final list, so they will be given an opportunity other than that particular UPSC where they can also start their career. Next, what is India's rank in 2025 Sustainable Development Goals Index released by United Nations Sustainable Development Solutions Network in June 2025? It is 99. Right? India ranks at 99. Correct, and this was the 10th edition of Sustainable Development Report, where first position was secured by Finland and India stands at 99th position. Next, identify the organization that in June 2025 announced the 2025 cohort of its Technology Pioneers program featuring 100 early stage companies including 10 Indian startups from 28 countries that are driving innovation across industries. Right, so World Economic Forum, they have selected 10 startups from India, so they generally select 100 startups globally, and this time 10 Indian startups were included in this, so it is a good thing for India. Next, the Department of Financial Services held a meeting on scaling up RBI's latest digital lending infrastructure, Unified Lending Interface. Mentioned the organization that has developed this ULI, Unified Lending Interface. It has been developed by Reserve Bank Innovation Hub. Next, in June, Dash announced that it has listed India's first environmental social governance bond on National Stock Exchange. It is L&T, Larsen and Toubro. They have announced that it has listed India's first environmental social governance bond on National Stock Exchange. Right, and the company has raised 500 crore rupees through non-convertible debentures at a coupon rate of 6.35%. Next, mention the company with which Ministry of Defence placed an order for 450 Nagastra 1-hour loitering munitions that are your suicide drones to boost Indian Army's precision strike capabilities. So mention the company, it is Solar Defence and Aerospace Limited, and it is for 450 such Nagastra 1-hour loitering munitions suicide drones, and it is 158 crore rupees contract. Next, who is the first Indian selected as an astronaut candidate for the space mission of USA's Titan Space Industries, whose orbital mission to the orbital port space station is scheduled to launch in 2029. Right? Who is she? Dangeti Janvi. Right? Take a note of this. She is from Andhra Pradesh and she is the first Indian selected for the TSI's orbital mission to the orbital port space station that is scheduled for 2029. Next, identify the sport from which Indian player Lalit Kumar Upadhyay announced his international retirement in June 2025. It is hockey. And in 2021, he was also awarded with Arjuna Award. Next, which Indian company is establishing 91,000 crore semiconductor fabrication plant in Dholera Special Investment Region of Gujarat? It is Tata Electronics Private Limited. And this first chip production from this fabrication unit is expected to begin by December 2026. Around 20,000 skilled jobs will be generated here. Next, who among the following is the co-founder of Oracle Corporation? So Larry Ellison. Next, in June, Ministry of Civil Aviation, Government of Maharashtra, Pawan Hans Limited and FICCI, they jointly organized the 7th Helicopter and Small Aircraft Summit in Pune, Maharashtra. Question is, mention the regulatory body under which the new helicopter directorate will operate as announced by the Union Minister of Civil Aviation, Kinjarappu Ram Mohan Naidu, during the summit. It is Directorate General of Civil Aviation, DGCA. Next, which of the following organization collaborated with Ministry of Women and Child Development to launch the pilot program Navya for providing vocational training to youth, adults and girls in June 2025? It is Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, MSDE. And this Navya is a pilot initiative that is equipping adults and girls at the age of 16 to 18 years with a minimum qualification of class 10th. Next is Union Minister for Power Manohar Lal Khattar in June announced that a small modular reactor SMR based nuclear power plant will be set up in Bihar as a part of India's nuclear energy mission in Nawada, Bihar.
Identify the first of its kind plant in India that was inaugurated by Gujarat's Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel in Gujarat on the foundation day of Gujarat Alkalis and Chemical Limited. So identify the first of its kind plant. It is your chlorotoluene plant. Right? It has been established with an investment of 350 crore rupee that aims to produce value added products that includes your chlorine derivatives. This will reduce the import dependencies on the other countries and it will boost our export also. Next, what is the theme for the 2025 International Day of Yoga to be observed on 21st of June as announced by Prime Minister Narendra Modi? It is Yoga for One Earth, One Health. This is the theme here for the International Yoga Day. Right, this International Yoga Day, this is the first ever International Yoga Day that was observed, the first ever International Yoga Day was observed in 2015 on 21st of June. Right, next is identify the digital platform launched by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare in March to monitor the real-time availability of anti-rabies vaccine and anti-snake venom across India. It is Zoovin. Right, this will help the healthcare to stay connected with each other, and in the case of requirement they will be providing the other health center with the required anti-rabies or anti-snake venom vaccine. Next, what was the denomination of the special postage stamp unveiled by the President of India Draupadi Murmu ma'am on 1st of April to commemorate the 90th anniversary of Reserve Bank of India at the National Centre for the Performing Arts in Mumbai? So what was the denomination of the special postage stamp? It was 5 rupees. Next, Union Minister Nirmala Sitharaman ma'am inaugurated Niti NCAER States Economic Forum portal. Portal means this is a website and this will provide a comprehensive repository of the data of the Indian states from 1990 to 2023. Which of the following parameters are covered by this portal? So if we see here, social data, economic data, fiscal data, all these datas are here covered by this Niti NCAER portal, that is National Council of Applied Economic Research portal, and here data of 3 decades will be provided. 3 decades, that is from 1990 to 2023. Next, the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy has announced a record-breaking addition of how many gigawatts of renewable energy capacity for FY25? So that is 25 gigawatts of renewable energy capacity. Next, according to the provisional estimates from Indian Ports Association, which port authority maintained the highest cargo handling among the Indian ports in FY25? So which is that port? It is Paradeep Port Authority. Paradeep Port is in Odisha. Correct. Also remember Mudra Port, that is in Mumbai, owned and operated by Adani Group. They became the first port to cross 200 million tons of 200 million metric tons of cargo volume in FY25 and became the first port from India to do this. Next, identify the state with the highest forest cover encroachment according to the report submitted by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change to the National Green Tribunal in March 24. So which is that state? It is Madhya Pradesh. Next, mention the type of railway vehicle that India manufactured 1681 units in FY25, surpassing USA, Europe, South America, Africa, Australia as per the Ministry of Railways. So which is that vehicle we are talking about? We are talking about locomotives, right? We manufactures 1681 locomotives in FY25. Next, Employees Provident Fund Organization, they have introduced 2 key reforms which will simplify their claim settlement process. Which of the following requirement has EPFO removed completely from the online claim filings? So EPFO introduced 2 key reforms here, right? Which are those? That is your check leaf and attested bank passbook. So these are the 2 things that has been launched by the EPFO. Next is Indian Navy. They have signed a project sanction order under the Make 1 category. With whom? It was with Kirloskar Oil Engines Limited for the design and development of a 6 megawatt medium speed marine diesel engine. Next, is which organization released the scooping study titled How Does Climate Change Impact Women and Children Across Agroecological Zones in India in April 2025. So this data was released by Ministry of Women and Child Development, and according to them it is talking about the effect of climate change on the day-to-day responsibilities and social roles of children and women. Next, in April, during the inauguration of the Viksit Bharat Youth Parliament Festival, Union Minister of Youth Affairs and Sport Dr. Mansukh Mandaviya presented National Youth Awards for individuals and organization categories. What is the cash prize awarded to the organization under NYA, that is National Youth Award? So what is the cash prize here? The cash prize here is of 3 lakh rupees. Right? Next, in April, Ministry of Defence approved the use of Adilabad airfield for civil aircraft operation. This airfield is located in which state? This is located in Telangana. Next, the Indian Council of Medical Research launched a first of its kind inter-ministerial scientific study in New Delhi under the National One Health Mission. The primary aim of this initiative is to detect what? It is to detect the zoonotic diseases. Right? What are zoonotic diseases? That are transferred from or have potential to transfer from animals to humans. Right? Animal to humans. Next, name 2 sites that were declared as protected monuments and archaeological sites by Haryana Heritage and Tourism Department due to their association with the Harappan civilization. It is your Titagarh and Mithadal. Correct? These are the 2 sites. Moving on, identify the digital platform launched by the Chief Minister of Meghalaya, Conrad K. Sangma, on 4th of April to streamline the disaster reporting, relief processing and fund disbursement in Meghalaya state. So, what is the name of this digital platform? It is Disaster and Relief Monitoring System. Next, which offshore patrol vessel of the Indian Navy was flagged off by Defence Minister Rajnath Singh in April from Karwar Naval Base in Karnataka as a part of the Indian Ocean Ship Sagar mission? The name of that INS is INS Sunayana. Next, the President of India Draupadi Murmu ma'am gave assent to the Immigration and Foreigners Bill to enhance national security, control immigration procedures. As per the Act, what is the maximum fine that can be imposed on the foreigners if they are not carrying their valid documents, that includes your passport and other travel related documents? So what is the penalty that can be imposed? A penalty of 5 lakh rupees can be imposed on them, or a 5-year jail. Next, mention the Navratna public sector undertaking under the Ministry of Railways that constructed a 2.07 long bridge in Rameshwaram, Tamil Nadu, inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in April. So mention that Navratna company. It is Rail Vikas Nigam Limited, RVNL. Next, name the exercise during which Indian Army successfully demonstrated the manned-unmanned teaming capability of 5 April on 5th of April that was conducted by Tri-Shakti Corps in the India's Eastern Theatre. So what is the name of that exercise? That is exercise Sarva Shakti. Right? It was the exercise in which the Indian Army demonstrated the MUMT. That is your manned-unmanned teaming capability that was conducted by the Tri-Shakti Corps. So this is exercise Sarva Shakti. Then name the digital tool launched by the Ministry of Rural Development in April to support the aspiring Lakpati Didis developed under the operating system LOC OS during a post-budget consultation webinar including the State Rural Livelihood Mission. So name that digital tool. What is the name of that digital tool? That digital tool is named as Entrepreneurship Planning Digital Tool. Correct? Take a note of this. Then next is GI registry under the DPIIT. They have given GI tag to horticulture fruit known as the Amalsad Chiku. Right? This Amalsad Chiku is related to which state? It is related to Gujarat. Or this Amalsad Chiku belongs to Gujarat, which got the GI tag recently. Next, India was elected as the member of UN Intergovernmental Working Group of Experts on International Standards of Accounting and Reporting, that is ISAR, for the period 2025 to 2027 as announced by the Permanent Mission of India to the UN in April 2025.